Hey guys, Sam here and welcome back to another FIFA 18 experiment. Today we are continuing one of our previous experiments with the Superliga and seeing what would happen if the best teams in the world played in England's top 4 divisions. If you haven't seen the first video, I will leave a card in the top right corner. If you click the I button, you can go ahead and take a look at that one if you haven't seen the first episode yet. Today we'll be continuing on. Last episode we did 5 seasons and I said if you guys smash 1,000 likes on that video, I'll do another 5 seasons. And you guys smashed 1,000 likes on that video. Now, if you guys want to continue even further, today we're doing 5 seasons. If you want to go even further, past 10 seasons of this Superliga, I'm gonna have to ask again, guys. 1,000 likes is absolutely necessary if you guys want to see 5 more seasons of the Superliga. Without further ado, it doesn't need too much introduction. Let's jump into it and let's see what's happening in Season 6. Okay, at the end of Season 6, this is what things look like with Fiorentina in the 4th division going up with Fenerbahce and Bologna. Watford, Krasnodar, Sampdoria and Monterrey will be able to fight their way into League 1. The worst team in the entire experiment at this point in time is Leganes. In the 3rd division, Sassuolo and Cologne are going up with Bordeaux, Mainz, Galatasaray or Nice joining them. Going down is Malaga, Saint Etienne, Boca Juniors, who at one point were the worst team in the entire experiment, and Crystal Palace. In the Championship, going up to the Premier League is Sporting Club de Portugal with a massive 108 points in the league. Joining them is Rasenball Leipzig with Monaco, Benfica, Schalke or Lazio joining them. And going down into the 3rd division is West Ham, Torino and Leicester. I feel like Torino are the most fluctuating team. I swear they've been in the 4th, 3rd and 2nd division at one point in this experiment. I might be wrong about that, but it definitely seems that way. And then at the top flight, Manchester United have had probably the best league campaign up until this point. 27 wins, 10 draws, and just 1 loss. That is a phenomenal season. 1 loss with all these fantastic teams is absolutely ridiculous. Joining them in the top 4, Bayern Munich, who just seem to always be there, Juventus, who, again, another solid team, and PSG, with both Barca and Madrid missing out. And then going down into the Championship will be Leverkusen, Wolfsburg, and Roma. Taking a look at some silverware winners in the Europa League, it was Atletico Madrid who beat Bayern Munich 3-0. Nice, comfortable win for them. In the Champions League, Udinese beating Manchester City, and that marks a brand new record in this experiment series. Udinese are the first team not in the Superliga, not in the top 4 divisions, to win a bit of silverware, and it's the Champions League, so not bad at all. In terms of the domestic cups, which are the stacked cups, it was an all-Italian final in the Carabao Cup, and Napoli beat Roma 2-1, and in the FA Cup, Manchester United beating Wolfsburg 1-0 to pull out a double, but the first league-winning double of this experiment. In the last episode, Atletico Madrid did a domestic cup double with the League Cup and FA Cup, but the league winners usually don't win any other silverware, so Manchester United are the first team to do that with a League and an FA Cup. That is just a wonderful season for Manchester United. You cannot take anything away from that. Just quickly recapping Season 6, Manchester United winning the Premier League and the FA Cup. Napoli, who was 17th placed in the league, picked up a League Cup. Udinese winning a Champions League despite not being in the top 4 divisions. And Atletico Madrid picking up a Europa League win from 7th position in the league. Moving into Season 7, where Saint Etienne, Sampdoria, and Boca Juniors are going up to the 3rd division. Saint Etienne and Boca Juniors going straight back up after getting relegated last season, with Krasnodar, Monterrey, Deportivo La Coruña, and Tigres being able to fight for their chance to also get into the 3rd division. The worst team in the experiment this season was not Leganes, they were close. It was actually West Bromwich Albion. In terms of the 3rd division, it's Feyenoord and Torino going up into the Championship. Hamburg, Espanyol, Atalanta and Leicester have an opportunity to join them, which means that Torino is definitely going back up. Leicester has an opportunity to go straight back up as well. And getting relegated is Fenerbahce, West Ham, Watford and Fiorentina, which means that is a back-to-back relegation for West Ham from the Championship to League 2 in 2 seasons. That's pretty shocking. Going back to the Championship, Roma and Leverkusen go straight back up into the Premier League, and joining them could be potentially Wolfsburg, who could also go straight back up into the Premier League, or Benfica, Monaco, or Hoffenheim are the other teams available. And going down is Inter Milan, PSV, and Cologne. Inter Milan. Was not expecting them to get relegated. That's come out of nowhere, actually, now thinking about it. And in terms of the Premier League, once again, Juventus are league winners. They were league winners in Season 4, and they are league winners once once again, this time beating Manchester United, who came in second, Manchester City in third, and PSG in fourth. Real Madrid, they're probably the lowest finish in the experiment so far, in 8th place. Going back to the championship is Napoli, Schalke, and Leipzig. In terms of the silverware winners, the Europa League winners were Barcelona beating Red Bull Salzburg 3-0. Champions League winners, Manchester United, still winning trophies. 2-1 win over Atletico Madrid after getting through Bayern Munich and PSG. So that's pretty decent for Manchester United. Carabao Cup, it was actually a Manchester derby where, again, Manchester United won a trophy. 2-1 win over Manchester City. Another double for Manchester United. No league winning double, but back-to-back doubles. 4 pieces of silverware in 2 seasons. No one's ever gone back-to-back with doubles, so Manchester United are obviously a very good team right now in this experiment. And the FA Cup win was Atletico Madrid, who are a team that has been cleaning up silverware. I mean, they get a lot of domestic trophies, which is really good to see. I like the fact that Atletico Madrid are winning because they're not someone you'd expect to be consistently winning. So just recapping the winners for this season, Juventus picked up the league with Atletico Madrid picking up an FA Cup. Second place in the league, Manchester United won the League Cup and the Champions League, with 7th place in the league, Barcelona picking up a win. Everybody this season winning from the top flight of this Superliga. Okay, Season 8. Going up is Watford, Fiorentina, and Genoa. Potentially going up, Stuttgart, Bournemouth, Malaga, and West Ham. Moving into League 1, Inter Milan goes straight back up. That's not too surprising after getting relegated into the 3rd division. Nice is going to join them as well, with Stoke City, Marseille, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Leicester City potentially joining them. Going down is Espanyol, Galatasaray, Swansea City, and Krasnodar. And in the championship, the teams going up to the Premier League are Wolfsburg and Torino. Again, Torino, I swear to God, they were in the 4th division at one point, and now they're going to be in the Premier League. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm thinking of some other team, but I swear to God, this now means they've been in every single division of this experiment. I could be completely wrong about that. Anyway, joining them could potentially be Hamburg, Monaco, Ajax, or Schalke. And then going down is Valencia, which is a bit of a surprise. Southampton and Besiktas as well. And then in the Premier League, Juventus have gone back-to-back league winners. Real Madrid are now back into the top 4, picking up 2nd place, with United in 3rd, tied on points with Bayern, who are in 4th. And getting relegated is Porto, Leverkusen, and Hoffenheim. So the silverware winners for this season, starting off with the Europa League, it's Celta Vigo, which are not in this experiment. So another winner that was not in this experiment, this time the Europa League winners. Moving on to the Champions League, Manchester United again winning silverware, beating Barcelona 3-2. In the Carabao Cup, it was Sampdoria winning the Carabao Cup against Porto in penalties. And then the FA Cup was won by Ajax, 4-0 win over Inter Milan. That is huge. The trophy winners for this season included Juventus, who are obviously the league winners. Ajax from the 2nd division, 5th place, fighting for promotion, picked themselves up an FA Cup, which is nice. Sampdoria in the 3rd division, they came 8th, so they just missed out on getting into the championship, but they do pick up a bit of silverware. And Manchester United, now 3 seasons in a row, they've won silverware. This time, it's the Champions League. They've now gone back-to-back Champions League winners. Okay, the end of Season 9 now, and Fenerbahce, West Ham, and Galatasaray will be going up to League 1, with potentially Espanyol, Deportivo Alaves, Trabzonspor, and Deportivo La Coruña joining them. The worst team in the experiment once again is Leganes. And that's the only reason that Girona hasn't been the worst team, because Leganes are just that bad. Anyway, moving on to League 1. Southampton go straight back into the championship after they won League 1, with Marseille joining them. PSV, Leicester City, Newcastle United, and Sampdoria will have their opportunity to join them as well. Then going down will be Real Betis, Mainz, Saint Etienne, and Genoa. In the championship, Porto and Benfica, the Portuguese duo, will be going up into the Premier League, with Athletic Bilbao, Leverkusen, Feyenoord, and Hoffenheim potentially joining them. And then going down into the championship will be Lazio, Bordeaux, and Hamburg. And then the top flight of the 4 divisions, once again, 3 times in a row. Emulating Real Madrid in seasons 1, 2, and 3, Juventus have won 3 league titles in a row. Count them, 3. Absolutely incredible scenes. They only lost 3 games all season as well. Real Madrid in 2nd, Chelsea in 3rd, and Manchester United in 4th. Going down is Arsenal, Roma, and Torino. Arsenal, I think that's the first time they've gotten relegated. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Surely I would have talked about it if they'd gotten relegated before. 18th position, below the likes of Schalke, Everton, Sporting Club de Portugal, Wolfsburg. I mean, Jesus. Imagine Arsenal Fan TV if this thing... Imagine what Troops and DT would be saying if this happened in real life. Arsenal getting relegated from the Superliga. Imagine if they couldn't say they were one of the best teams in the world or in Europe. Imagine. It would be absolutely chaos.
You understand? I've had enough of you, Wenger, blood. Yeah? I've had enough of you, blood. Yeah? I don't deserve this, blood.
Anyway, moving on to some trophy winners. Once again, the Europa League is won by someone that is not in the experiment, Toulouse, this time beating Blackburn Rovers. To the Champions League, and Juventus have won the Champions League, which means this is the first time a team has won the league and then backed it up by winning the Champions League as well. But you could argue that maybe that's not actually the best double you could win. Probably the league and the FA Cup are the best doubles you can win, or even league and League Cup is better than the league and Champions League. What do you guys think? Is this double better than Manchester United's Premier League FA Cup double? Which one do you think is better? Moving on to the Carabao Cup, and it was AC Milan who beat Chelsea on penalties. Good to see AC Milan winning a bit of silverware. I think that's their first piece in this experiment. And then the FA Cup, Bayern Munich with a nice 2-1 win against Real Sociedad. So the league winners for Season 9, Juventus, were the Premier League winners. They also backed it up in the Champions League. 5th place Bayern Munich winning the FA Cup. 10th place AC Milan winning the League Cup. And Toulouse, not even in the experiment, winning the Europa League. And the Europa League just seems to now be going to people that aren't even in the experiment. Celta Vigo won it last season, Toulouse this season. What's gonna happen next season? Okay, season 10, which means it is the last season for this video. Potentially the last season of the experiment, depending on what you guys want to see. Mainz, Berlin, and Tigres are gonna be going up to the 3rd division, with Saint Etienne, West Brom, Real Betis, and Swansea City potentially joining them. For the final season of this episode, Augsburg were the worst team in the experiment. In League 1, Bordeaux and Lazio go straight back up into the championship, potentially joining them Leicester City, PSV, Hamburg, and Sampdoria. Going down into the 4th division will be Bologna, Galatasaray, Atalanta, and Trabzonspor. In the championship, it didn't take long for Arsenal to get back into the Premier League, winning the championship. Roma as well, going straight back up into the Premier League. Torino has the chance to go straight back up into the Premier League. Real Sociedad, Leipzig, and Feyenoord also have that chance to be in the top flight with the world's best. Getting relegated this season into League 1 is Nice, Southampton, and Marseille. And then for the final time, the top flight winner was Manchester United, which means this episode we've only had 2 different league winners. Last episode was only 3, to be fair, but this season even worse, just 2. This episode even worse, just 2 winners. Juventus in 2nd, Bayern in 3rd, AC Milan in 4th, fair effort from them, meaning Madrid did not make the top 4. The Portuguese duo of Benfica and Porto, they go down back into the championship. Wolfsburg will be joining them. In terms of some of the silverware winners, Nantes winning the Europa League. Again, a team that is not in the experiment. I don't even see any of the people that would have been in the Europa League in the final round of 16. No one that came 5th or 6th in the league is there. Literally no one. None of those teams were good enough to make the round of 16. How does that work? I don't understand. No big deal. Blackburn Rovers were in back-to-back Europa League finals as well. They lost both, unfortunately. I would have liked to have seen Blackburn win something here. Last season, Juventus did the League and the Champions League. This season, Manchester United did the League and the Champions League, beating Juventus, which is absolutely astonishing stuff. United also going through Real Madrid and Bayern Munich to win this Champions League. That's pretty huge. In the Carabao Cup, Boca Juniors, at one point, worst team in all 4 divisions, win the Carabao Cup over Torino 1-0. Great to see Boca Juniors winning something as well. Nice work, Boca. FA Cup was won by Atletico Madrid, who just are so good in the domestic cups. I don't know what it is about them, but they are very, very good. They've won another one, which means for Season 10, Manchester United won the league. They also backed it up in the Champions League. The FA Cup winners, Atletico Madrid, 10th in the league. Last time they won the FA Cup, they were also 10th in the league, which is a little bit of symbolism there. And then Boca Juniors from the 3rd division, 14th place in the 3rd division, winning the League Cup. Really well done from them. Really good to see. And before we wrap up today's experiment, guys, just in case this is the last one of these that we do, I would like to quickly point out some of the teams that were really exceptional in this. In terms of the Champions League, and it's probably not as important as the domestic cups or leagues, Manchester United were the most successful team in the Champions League, 3 Champions League. PSG and Bayern both never winning the league, so pretty well done for them for winning the Champions League twice each. Juventus won it just once, despite winning the league so many times, and Liverpool actually won one in season 1. How many times could I say one in that phrase? I don't even know. In terms of the domestic cups, there was only one winner, Atletico Madrid. 4 different domestic cups throughout the season. One time they did a double domestic cup, League Cup, and FA Cup. In season 7, they won the FA Cup, and then in season 10, again, they won the FA Cup. No one winning more combined FA Cups and League Cups more than Atletico Madrid. That says a lot, actually. And we had a lot of different winners, it has to be said. In the FA Cup and League Cup, there was a land of opportunity for those two, but it was a variety of teams, really. From all divisions, from all countries, the FA Cup and League Cup were really magical. A lot of teams winning them, which was good. But the main thing to look at, the league winners for this experiment. Manchester City won just the one league title in season 5. Manchester United here in today's episode winning 2, and that is 2 overall for them. Real Madrid went season 1, 2, and 3 as league winners. They went back to back to back, but no one was as good as Juventus. They won season 4, they also won season 7, 8, and 9, which means so far, if we don't continue, Juventus are the league kings of this Superliga, 4-time league winners. But it is up for debate who you thought was more dominating between, I'd say, Juventus and Manchester United. Manchester United winning a lot more domestic cups and Champions Leagues than Juventus, but Juventus 4 times in the league, which you would argue is the most difficult. However, United won one of the seasons with just 1 loss to their name. There's so many factors. This might not be over, but if it is, it has to be out of those 2 teams. Total trophies, Manchester United picked up 8, Juventus picked up 7, but Juventus with 2 more league titles. Who do you give it to? Let me know in the top right corner, a poll. Up until this point, who has won the Superliga? Who has been the most dominant in the Superliga? Let me know in the top right. That is it for today's experiment, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. If we don't continue it, it's been absolutely exceptional and so fun to see this and do this. Another thing people said was to do this, but reversed. So the best teams are in League 2, the worst teams are in the Premier League. I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and do that. What I might do is just put the best teams in League 2 and leave everything else the same and see which of those teams can get to the Premier League the quickest. I don't know, because it takes a really long time to set up a Superliga, so I don't know if I can actually be bothered doing it. Again, smash a like if you'd like to see that. If you'd like to continue this, or if you would like to see this, but reversed. So the worst teams are in the Premier League, the best teams are in League 2. I think that would be fun to do, but I need you guys to smash 1,000 likes. It's going to be very difficult. So if you haven't already, leave a like on the video. If you're new around here, subscribe. But that is it for today's experiment, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you had a good day. I will see you guys in the next one very soon. Keep it real.